What's up, guys? So today we're going to be kind of doing a little fix-it episode. Ever since I put the new tires on the back of the Supra, they're quite a bit bigger than the tires that were on there. Not only wider, but 2 inches taller as well. I raised up the rear of the car just a little bit, but not quite enough, and it rubbed really, really bad. Like as soon as I pulled out of the driveway, it was too much. I had to turn around and come right back. Raised the rear of the car up a little bit, and then it was rubbing through like turns and a little bit over bumps, which is a little bit better, but still too bad. So I came back and ended up raising it even more. So the third time I've raised it, it's up pretty high, not terrible, but it still rubs, especially on the highway. Like if you hit a dip, especially when you hit a dip and it like shortens the suspension, and it's just tearing the tires up. And we're gonna be trying to fix it by rolling the rear fenders. I know a lot of people opt to just cut the fenders instead of trying to roll it, because on a car this old, there's a lot of likelihood to start cracking paint once you start rolling. So it's going to be a very slow process. Try and move that sharp edge out of the way so it's not cutting into the tire, and then I'll kind of like take you through the process of doing it. But first thing, we'll get the car jacked up, ready to go. So you can see here, now that I had the tire off, kind of like what this was doing. So when I was cutting into the tire, it was creating these little strings here, which is what was flapping up against the fender. All right, let's see how good I can kind of get you guys an idea of what this is like. So this is the outside of the fender, and then as you go underneath, you can see that it has this ledge here. This is the inside of this lip is what is rubbing on the tire. And if you look on the top side of it, there's actually 2 layers, which is what makes it difficult to try and bend this lip up. We have some tools here. This is a fender roller. We'll get it hooked up to the car in just a second, kind of show you how it works. And then a heat gun to try and heat up the inside of the fender, and more importantly, the paint to make it a little bit more pliable to try and keep it from cracking as you do the rolling. Now that we have the fender roller on the car, ready to go, we're gonna slowly heat it up and just start working it a little bit. And we'll kind of see the process as it goes. So as you're doing this, you just kind of want to like hold a little bit of heat in the fender so that you can make the paint a little bit more pliable, and then also make the metal that's underneath it a little bit easier to bend. But you'll just make little incremental changes to the roller itself and just kind of keep working it little by little by little. You also don't want to let it get too cold, but you don't want to get it too hot, because then you'll start bubbling the paint, and that's bad news as well. So it's very much a balancing act that you should definitely take your time with. Go nice and slow, especially if it's like your first time doing it. Just go little by little, make sure that everything's going smooth. You don't have to make big changes or do anything too quickly, because that's when you'll start doing damage. So just keep working at it. You can see here that on the outside, everything still looks good. It still has that layer of rubber on it right now from where the rubber was hitting it from the tire kind of coming apart. But if we look underneath, you'll be able to see here that this is no longer flat like it was. It's It's more of like a rolled up. So instead of that sharp edge aimed directly at the tire, that sharp edge is sort of aimed up. Okay, let's start this long process over again. All right, all finished up. Everything went really well. It did basically exactly what I wanted it to do, which was just kind of turn that sharp bit of the lip up just a little bit. Just want to keep that rubbing, which is probably still going to happen, but I want to keep it from really cutting into the tire. Mission accomplished overall. I think that it's going to be much, much better. If you guys do want to see more and interested in these builds continuing on, go ahead and like, subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps out. Thanks. All right, so I know that seemed like the end of the video, but I did want to jump on here and just give a quick update that this car doesn't rub at all anymore. So 0 rubbing. Rolling the fenders worked out perfect. But like the guy from before said, go ahead and like and subscribe. Follow along. I think we have some fun stuff coming up, so stay tuned.